job. And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? Click like Power Boys. Make you say wow boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Big game, first name James. He interviewed, he called the games. Silver blue, you know the name. From the Emmitt Smith to the Michael Irv. We beating skins, shooting birds. I see a Bengal snatch it out his fur. Favorite team on the planet Earth. From Monday night to Sunday church. DJ putting in the work. I'm tuning in, no need to search. Through thick and thin and good and worse. Them Cowboys, click like Power Boys. Make you say wow boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the goddamn, they did it again. How about them Cowboys? Click like Power Boys. Make you say wow boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that silver and blue done did it again. Cowboys, click like Power Boys. Make you say wow boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the goddamn, they did it again. How about them Cowboys? Click like Power Boys. Make you say wow boys from the QBs, DTs, LBs, and the Towel Boys. You tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that win. Tuning in to the team that silver and blue done did it again.
That silver and blue done did it again. That silver and blue done did it again. Big
What's up,
J,
good sir?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, big dog?
Man, I'm doing well, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Happy anniversary.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We're about to talk this draft.
We'll give it a shot.
Oh, man. So, Mike jumped on my tweet. I made a tweet. I said, you know what? I'm going to give this draft a C right now. After the third round, I'm going to give it a C. This motherfucker jumped on my shit like, nah, you being nice, dog. This shit effed up, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, I knew when they got Michael Parsons. Blah, 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 blah. This man hated Michael Parsons for 2 months, and they was the first
2
round
years.
pick. 2 years, and he was the first pick. But I'm going to debate you because I think Michael Parsons is going to do a lot better in Dallas than you think.
Okay.
I think he is.
What factual evidence do you have to back that up?
Listen, you know why? Here. We can't say he's not a primed athlete, right? We can say that. He did have one good season, okay, and it wasn't a Big Ten. Played some good competition. I understand what you're talking about. Got it, not good in coverage. Got to get that. But if they use him in multiple spots, they send him on blitzes. And Mike,
we don't blitz.
Well, guess what? We got Quinn now. Maybe he changes that.
Maybe it's Kiffin. But maybe it's Marinelli. But maybe it's
I
Richard.
feel what you're saying.
We're going to blitz this year. We're going to blitz this year, I promise.
I feel what you're saying.
We're going to blitz this year, I promise.
Mike, but did you look next year? Mike, well, listen, I feel what you're saying. I'm not falling for the Kool-Aid. I'm not doing that, Mike. But what I am saying is, can you at least look at some positives like I'm trying to? Remember, we ain't trying to be negative. Right? So when we looked at the press conference from Dan Quinn, did that make you feel a little good?
I only read the transcript, but the words I read, yeah, it was a little better.
It was a little better than that. It was a lot better than Mike Nolan because I saw passion.
He also didn't rub hot sauce in his eye, so I guess that's a fucking upgrade.
I mean, but you get what I'm saying, though, Mike. I saw authoritative, I saw passion, and I saw something decisively different than Mike Nolan. So this is the only thing I got to live off, Mike. I'm not falling for the Kool-Aid, but this is the only thing I got to live off of, that he came in here, he came assertive, like, this is what I'm trying to do. Yeah. This is what we want to do.
At least you have a plan. The plan may suck ass. We don't know it, but at least you have a plan.
I think he has a plan.
I think the plan of trying to put 6 linebackers on the field is a bad defense, but, we'll figure it out.
But, okay. So let's talk about Micah Parsons. Why are you so mad at him? You think he's going to be trash in Dallas, dog? Really?
Okay, so it's not – take the name out of it.
Okay. I ain't looking at – I watched some tape too, though, Mike. He didn't look that bad.
Linebackers are the running backs of the defense. To be picked in the top 15, top 25, you better be some fucking blue chip, no doubt from the first snap, Hall of Fame player. Absolute difference maker. Be able to cover, be able to blitz, be able to carry the tight end up the seam. All of that. Like Roquan Smith this year, if Micah Parsons to go 12th overall, Roquan Smith would be like a top 3 pick this year.
So you don't think he's going to turn up in Dallas?
I hope he does. I really do.
He is, Mike. Trust me. Mike, is.
My issue is I don't do projection. I'm done projecting.
I feel you.
I'm done projecting coverage. Oh, he can do it. We just ain't seen him do it. That's not what you do in the top fucking in the first round. You don't. That's not what you don't. Oh, we just haven't seen him do it. That's no.
I feel that what you're talking about, but let me play a little devil's advocate with what you're saying, right? What you're talking about, he got to come in and be a dog, and I don't disagree with that. But if we would have picked Surtain, would we been looking at him like he ain't getting interceptions? If you drafted at 10, you got to get interceptions. You can't just be sitting there saying, "Oh, he's a good cover guy." No, you need to be an animal.
You're comparing apples to pineapples there,
but you understand. But it's still the point.
Yes, but transitioning from college corner to pro corner is arguably the hardest thing to do.
I know that.
That's a whole different thing. And what happened was, like, I was trying to prepare people. Surtain's going to be the first corner. If y'all thought the first corner in this draft, in an extremely defensively weak draft, was going to go at 10th over like 110, that you're smoking crack. That was never going to be a thing. And then people say, "Oh, Carolina won't take a corner. Denver won't take a corner." Bullshit. You both those are defensive-minded coaches. And then they got sniped. And you're sitting there going, "Oh, shit. What do we do now?" They panicked.
Mm-hmm.
They panicked. And they apparently that didn't go too well in the war room. That story will come out in the coming weeks. But apparently the
story's already been out.
Yeah, we'll get more of it. Apparently it wasn't all sugar plums or whatever the hell, Jerry Jones, I'm dreaming of sugar plums. That exactly wasn't what happened in that war room.
Oh, that's why I love it, because we're gonna eventually talk about all that. You know what I'm saying? So let's move from Micah Parsons.
Okay.
Let's go to Kelvin Joseph. How do you feel about him? I liked Asante Samuels over him, in my opinion. It wasn't hate on Kelvin Joseph, but I think Asante Samuel is every bit of the player that Kelvin Joseph is.
Yeah,
he just doesn't have that speed.
And without Kelvin Joseph's literally draped in red flags.
So, what do you think about Kelvin Joseph?
I think he's a bad person.
Okay, let's go beyond that. Let's talk about playing on the field.
Oh, he struggles in press coverage. He's good in zone. He gets caught biting on double moves, but outside of that, he's got the length they want. Obviously, they were all about Stephen Jones. He loves that size, so they got all their lengthy corners,
Mm-hmm.
But the guy declared for the draft, and this team was like, "Yes, please, thank you, please." We don't want you to come back next year. We don't want you here. So that is what it is.
I mean, I'm gonna just keep it real. Like I said, I wasn't hating on Joseph, but I just feel in my heart I would have wanted Asante Samuel Jr.
Yeah.
I think he was I mean, he's every bit of the dog. He's every bit of the playmaker. He's dog. That to me just frustrated me. Not hating on Kelvin Joseph. You feel me? But Asante Samuel,
I gave
feel
up on
just
my
better.
Yeah. I don't get it twisted. I gave up on football players being good people a long time ago.
Right.
Just yeah. When they say one thing and do another, it's just funny.
Right. Well, like I said, so do you think he should be he's got to be a starter day one, correct?
You have to.
Got to be a starter day one.
Unless they're going to do something. Unless they're going to try to figure out something with Gallup.
They're not going. You know that if I look at the draft and they were to me still conservative in this draft, they're not going to touch Gallup. They're not going to hurt his feelings.
And Gallup was at the Rangers game with Dak.
Exactly. That tells you right. That tells you everything right there.
And rather, I'm not saying how I feel about that either way. We just know how this team operates, and when there's a buddy system that Jeff Heath hangs out for 10 years, it's just not comparing to players, just when they love the family thing.
So I'm looking in the comments, big dog. Mm-hmm. See, here's my thing. I'm looking in the comments, and I was looking in a lot of comments yesterday. Cowboys get defense or they get players on defense and y'all still crying. I hear that. It ain't about crying, dog. It's reality. I'm not crying. I said numerous times that I'm not crying. They went defense. That's what I wanted. I'm not crying about the draft. What I'm saying is I'm cool with the Michael Parsons. I know you don't like it, but I'm cool with it. He don't bother me, and I think
I would love to be. Yeah, I would love to be wrong.
I think he's going to be a good player in Dallas, and I really think he's going to turn up. And I just think, in my opinion, with Michael Parsons, I think he really embraces being a Cowboy. And I think that means something going in there because I feel like it's going to be teachable. And with Quinn coming in there, I feel like he's a family guy. I feel like he's trying to keep that locker room tight. And I feel like those young guys will gravitate to it. And you want a lot of these guys that I seen drafted, they were really like, hey, I love being a Cowboy. And you can tell when guys are just saying that shit, or you can tell when guys are being real. And I felt like a lot of the guys were like, yo, I really love being a Cowboy and I want to make this happen. So I think that's going to have a little bit with Michael Parsons going to help him. But with the Kelvin Joseph thing, like I said, I ain't hating on that pick. People saying, I'm just thinking, like I said, I wanted Asante Samuel Jr. This is my opinion. I feel like he's every bit of the player that Kelvin Joseph is.
That would have been my pick, and that's my issue. When I was all up in my feelings, and then I bailed out on the draft. I went and hang out in my buggy Saturday, went golfing, and didn't even watch round 3 because people. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I'm not even an amateur. To be in charge of a team, but if you run up this team against what they've done defensively, especially since 2016, versus the consensus pick at the time, the track record isn't good. The track record, like we were talking about before Dak was even signed. People say let Dak go out and build a defense. Well, you seen them try. They won all defense this draft, and that's where I'm at there, bud.
I mean, that's where I'm at too, because I'm gonna look at it like this.
Go ahead, Bubba.
No, this is what I was gonna say about him, Mike, because I'm gonna look at it like those 3rd round picks, because we were talking about that. You know what I'm saying? When we go through the draft, we're talking about that. Those 3rd round picks, to me, they got to show and prove, because they were, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion, you reach for those guys because you could have got those guys later and still got some other players.
The draft network literally does not have. The draft network has 10 actual draft analysts on their roster, and they do not have a write-up for Nahshon Wright. They don't have one. They had one for TJ Vasher. TJ Vasher went undrafted.
From Texas, right. And that's what I'm saying. So, this
that's my boy, by the way.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, No, you can just leave, Prince. We're talking, and this is what we do. If you don't like it, Prince, Dara, Sarika, you can get the hell on. This is how we talk. We interact. We talk how we want. Ain't no problem between me and Mike how we talk. If you don't like it, you can get the hell on.
And if I
Bye.
talk over him, I say I apologize, and he keeps going. That's how manners work, good sir.
You feel me? And we don't trip on each other. We don't. You can get the hell on. Don't just get on out. But anyway, big dog. So you got the defensive tackle Osa. It's hard to say his name.
Don't. I'm not going out there. I'm not putting myself out there trying to say that. I can barely say my name, but
I did see him. I need to watch more tape of him. But he was turning up in that Senior Bowl. That's why I was like, damn, he can penetrate. I think that wrestling does help. He was a former wrestler. I know he's 280.
All right, I'm gonna go for it. Osa Odighizuwa. There we go. Odighizuwa.
Okay.
Yep.
But here's the thing: it's not like they're bad players. Even the Chauncey cat, they ain't bad players. It's just where they were drafted. That's the only thing. It was just where they were drafted. So when you got that right kid, he can't be a third rounder sitting that bench. He can't be a third rounder practice squad. He got to be on that field. Like he's got to be significantly playing snaps at third round. Would you agree?
Yeah, and that's my issue. So Dak's gonna get blamed for this because the quarterback contract, they were behind the 8 ball even before this draft. They needed to nail this draft. Needed to. Because the way they have missed on defense. It's not that they haven't tried to get defensive players. Mm-hmm. They're just bad at it.
Mm-hmm.
They're just bad at it. So you go and get these guys and look at the history of the players they've picked when they bucked the consensus pick, and look how it's worked out. Taco, Tristan Hill, LVE. You took LVE over, DJ Moore. There's all kinds of examples. It's just
I know.
It's just it doesn't, I'm not a like I said, I'm not a professional. I'm not even an amateur. But when you consistently buck the trend of the player that you should have picked there, and it never works out, and then you do it again, why do I have any faith that this is actually going to pan out? Right.
I think that's the frustrating part, because with the Nation Wright kid, I know, okay, 6'4", and he's like 180 pounds, whatever they say is a ball hawk. But my thing is, if for a third round pick, you could have got Melifanu, who is more polished than that.
Yeah,
there was other corners that you could have got that were more polished than him. That was a reach. So now you're putting him in a position where, yeah, you can talk a good game. Oh, I'm just like Richard Sherman. That's good. But third round pick, you got to get on the field and show. Like, this can't be no sitting. So,
yeah. And Richard Sherman was a surprise.
It was a surprise. Nobody thought he was going to turn up. Nobody thought Richard Sherman's a 5th round pick was going to turn up. Let's keep it real. Chauncey Golston from Iowa. What do you think about him? I seen a little bit of tape of him because I was watching Davion Nixon. He can rush the passer a little bit, but once again, you're a 3rd round pick. Are you challenging any of the defensive ends?
I went 4 rounds deep, and I looked at 5 to 6 players in the brackets that I thought they would be taking with the people they were taking. He wasn't inside the 6th round. I don't know where they got there. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't.
And here's the thing. I hear people saying, well, let's wait 2 to 3 years. I understand that. But it's not that I'm dissing the draft. It's just like, where are these guys going to play? Because when I see Osa and he's playing the 3 tech, is he going to get significant tick over Tristan Hill or Gallimore? If he's not in that,
they're talking about, hey, we're gonna line up Micah Parsons as an edge rusher, so we're gonna take off Gregory and we're gonna take off, like, what do we? They drafted these guys and it's like they don't have a plan for them. I don't know, man. It's just confusing.
That's why I say I'm confused, because the guys that you drafted what's really the plan for Chauncey Golston? You feel me? He's a 3rd-round pick. What's the plan for him? Because he should be seeing that field. If he's playing defensive end, what side is he playing on? Is he going to be the backup to DeMarcus Lawrence? I mean, he's got to be on that field. He can't be a guy that's sitting the bench.
Steve has a good point. We have complaining about the lack of competition. My only issue is I'm worried that this is another special teams draft like they did in 09. That's what I'm worried about. It could be competition. They could, this draft could absolutely hit, and people show up to camp and you're cracking heads and the best man wins. I would love that. My issue is I think it's more to the tune of 09.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you feel good about that 4th-round pick with Jabril Cox? I do.
Yeah.
I like that pick. I love that pick.
I was surprised. I was surprised he fell. Was that
me too.
Was there like a medical thing or something?
No, I didn't hear anything, nothing medical, anything with him. So I was surprised he was in that 4th round. So that to me made the draft better because this guy can do what a lot of things we want. He can cover running backs, he can cover receivers, tight end, he can do everything. He's just not physical.
Say, hey, speaking of that, like I said, I was off the grid yesterday. Did we ever find out what happened with JOK? His medical, was it they figure out that heart thing?
I didn't hear anything about that because he went to Cleveland, right?
I'm not. Like I said, I don't know, man. I was
he went to
I was off the grid.
Yeah, he went to Cleveland. I didn't hear anything about nothing like that because I'm out here in Ohio, so I didn't hear anything about that. Yeah. I heard that they was just ecstatic that they got the pick. You know what I'm saying?
There was a heart thing that got flagged. Yeah, I think Dallas. I think TJ Vasher makes a serious push for Noah Brown. Then you got Simmy's gonna make a serious push for Cedric Wilson. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun at camp.
That is. That Vasher,
TJ Vasher he didn't have a quarterback, man. And I know he's skinny, and I'm not trying to pretend like he's an elite prospect, but he's got that go and get it. And between him and Simmy, man, they're gonna play above the crossbar. They'll go get it. They'll go snag that ball 10 foot out of the damn air every time.
You like that Simmy pick?
I do. I like that. Talk
to me about that Simmy pick. What you like about it?
Man, he's a big body dude with good hands at the line of scrimmage. His first 10, 15 steps are solid enough to break off. I like it. I really do. I like that pick.
So you think that was a pick because they were thinking Gallup is going to be gone and we can let him chill for a year, maybe play some special teams, maybe get some tick here and there, and then see what he can do next year when Gallup signs with somebody else?
I would like to think that was a pick because it was the best player on the board at the time. But yeah, that logic doesn't hurt at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was a bit, in my opinion, like burning back through the draft. I was just scrolling through and seeing how many times Denver fucked us over and how many times the Raiders fucked us over.
Right.
But then
Raiders did that thing.
We're mortal enemies, So, but I thought he was the best pick at that time for sure.
Yeah, I was very. I knew they were going to get a receiver, and like I said, when you get those measurables, and I think that just let him chill for a year and learn the game. 6'4", 222 pounds, 4'3", 40, had like 37 catches. I mean, he goes after that ball too. Yeah. So I was excited about that.
That's an athlete. He's a freaking athlete, man.
Yeah, he's a big time athlete. And you know what? I'm gonna keep it real, Mike. When I was listening to him, they were geeked. He keeps tweeting that I'm geeked for playing for the Cowboys. I think that means something to me. It does. You see a lot of these players say, "Oh, I'm happy to be with the team," but you look at me like, "Nah, you're just saying that because you're just saying that," but you don't really believe it. I really think that a lot of these guys that got drafted really take that shit personal, and hopefully that'll carry on into their play on the field.
He could have went to Carolina. Instead, Dak Prescott's throwing in the ball. I mean, and count your blessings.
Now, these two picks at the end, though, toward the end of the round, very interesting, and I'm excited about them. I'm not excited how they're trying to do the Israel kid, because they're instantly trying to move him to safety. I don't like that shit because I feel like you should have addressed the safety position. You could have got that Adarius Washington. You could have made that shit happen. That's what frustrated me. We could have addressed it the Dallas Cowboys could have addressed the safety position. And I don't like how they get these cornerbacks and they're instantly in their head like, oh, you played safety for 2 plays? Oh, we can convert you. I don't like that.
That's not it. That's not it. I'm not trying to be negative, but like I said, how in the hell do you talk about safety for months? You have 11 picks in this draft, and you don't come out with one.
That's frustrating.
I mean, that's
because you had a guy that you still could have got. You got a couple guys you could have got, and you didn't even bother to touch it. These guys went to other teams, and they're like, "Oh, they got steals."
Yeah, that's how much they disrespect the safety position. They just think they can take anybody. Like you're going to try to put a 6'4" guy with no closing speed back there to. Nah, man,
I don't like it because it's like y'all allergic to it. And then, like I said, y'all want to draft these corners. You did it with Reggie Robinson. We don't know where he is in limbo land. Is he a corner? Is he a safety? Because y'all don't know what the hell y'all doing with it. And then as soon as y'all draft the Israel kid in the 6th round, y'all want to say, oh, because he has that, oh, I'm so grateful to be drafted by the Cowboys. I'll do whatever to get on the field. We're going to convert you to safety. You feel me? Like, no, you just need to draft a damn safety, not a corner that's switching to safety, a safety. That's what he played the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, they took Byron Jones, like one of the best corners in that draft, and you played it. Like, I just – and then, which was a premium pick, and they played him like – I don't understand it. I do not understand this team when it comes to the safety positions. It literally hurts my brain to even think about. We've been trying to get a safety for 30 years, man.
And here's the thing, Mike. If you have any kind of injury on that back end in the safety position, we cooked.
Yeah, and that Dono's going to get hurt. That's what he does.
He's going because he goes hard and he's going to hit people. Yeah, yes. He's gonna go all out. He's not the biggest dude, but he plays hard, and just the way he plays, that's maybe a shoulder injury. He's gonna have them shoulder injuries because he comes in like reckless, and he's not a big guy. You feel me? So it's just like, and we need another guy out there. I don't care if DeMonte Casey's there. He's there for a year. He's not a long-term guy. And then here's the thing, Mike. What frustrated me with them damn Raiders, they picked right before us, and we all knew when they picked right before us, when they jumped up and traded right before us, I knew they were getting Trevin. I knew they were getting him. And Cowboys call about the Jets probably like about him, but they're like, oh, we'll be okay. And then the Raiders jump your ass and get him. And then we just say, oh, we'll neglect it and we'll just convert these cornerbacks to safety. Okay, but that's not a sure thing.
They spent the better part of a month and a half talking about Trevin. Talking him up.
They were saying that this was our guy.
And then,
they wanted him, and then you just let a team just take him just like that. And then they say, oh, we weren't worried about it. Ha, ha, ha. We were looking at a corner.
Hey, who's the DC in Vegas?
Marinelli.
Mm-hmm. Who's unhappy with the Dallas Cowboys?
Exactly.
I mean, it's not that hard to put together, guys. What are we doing here?
And they did it last year too. Didn't they do it last year? They did it exactly last year. They took our pick the pick before they did it. And that's why and I think they did it like the last 2 years. They're gonna do it. So it's like y'all talked up that Trevin dude, and then he was right there for you, and then you let the Raiders just take him. And then you say, well, we weren't worried about it. We just get a corner. Okay, you got 3 corners, and you want to convert one to safety. In the last year, you had a corner who's a corner. Now you want to split him to safety.
That's right. We got roasted. That Bradley's out there now. They gave him the official title.
Who?
Out in Vegas.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well, whatever. You feel me? So, what do you think about the big boy from Kentucky? Do you think he can do anything? 6th round pick, Bohemian. Quentin.
That's a round one name. That's an elite name. I like. He's a space eater. At least you finally got maybe these poverty linebackers will be able to do something. You know what I mean? That's. Hey, speaking of poverty linebackers, are they going to play? They're going to play Cox at strong safety.
I mean, I want to see what they're going to do with this. This linebacker spot.
I'm so upset. It's like, are they trying to get 9 linebackers on the field?
They're trying to. They picked up 2 more linebackers in free agency, though. So. So do you think this is a bad draft?
I just don't know what they're doing, man. I really don't. And they have no track record to give for any leeway. This team has not been able to acquire defensive talent for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you just keep picking up more linebackers and you ignore the safety, and your interior is so terrible, and you wait till round 6 to get some kid out of Kentucky.
And here's the thing. I'm listening to some people in there, saying you're being negative. I don't think it's negative.
I'm really not trying to wear them out, but I'm like, I would love to be wrong. But guys, anybody in this chat, look at the defensive picks they've made, where that pick was roundly questioned. Did it work out? No, none of them. None of them. Keep going. Like the only defensive players they've had that eventually worked out were all Blue Star specials. They traded that for Lawrence. His first full season was 4 years in. They got Sean Lee. He was literally in an air cast. Like Bruce Carter. You know what? Bruce Carter's actually played more snaps than fucking LVE has in their first 3 years, and everybody hated that pick. Like, it doesn't matter how many DCs was that ago. Rob Ryan, Monty Kiffin, Chris Richard, Marinelli, Eberflus. Doesn't matter. This team sucks at acquiring defensive talent. So I'm sorry if I'm not sunshine and roses about what they've done in the draft. If I'm wrong, thank you. But what gives you any faith that they're right? There's nothing there. Absolutely nothing.
That's real shit. I mean, that's real shit, dog. Like, and people just don't. You know what it is, Mike? People just don't want to hear it. People just don't want to hear it.
I'm not trying to. I'm not trying
about. Like I said, about being negative.
I made it to like 25, 30 players this year. I didn't even I had like 4 guys at each bracket that I looked at. Didn't even get to these guys. But that said, when they buck the trend and the pick gets questioned, has it worked out? No, it hasn't at all.
You know what I think? Let me get your thoughts on this, Mike. I want to tell you what I think about something. You know what I think Stephen Jones is trying to do? I think he's trying to do this low-cost thing and get these players that are low-cost guys or people don't say nothing about them and not spend a lot of money in free agency, because I think he's trying to win it this way so everybody can look at him and say, look how Stephen Jones just did it. He did it with not spending a lot of money. He didn't go out and do this and that, and he did it this way. I really feel like he is on that. He's really trying to prove to people he can do it this way and win. I really feel that way.
Steven Catboy, I call him that for like his biggest beef started when they went and got Sanders. Him and Jerry fought over that for 2 years. And then they finally signed him in the first year of the cap. Stephen Jones is still pissed off about the Carr signing when that was a good player. That was a good player. You got your money's worth out of that contract. He hates, quote unquote, overpaying for average talent. They'd rather underpay for subpar talent. If I buy a kitchen appliance and that thing's $40 and it breaks down 6 days into using it, and the one I could have bought for $100 would have lasted me 3 years, which one was a better purchase? They'd rather buy so many $40 ones to keep throwing them in the trash because at least they didn't spend that $100 that one time. At the end of the day.
I mean, that's just real talk. And like I said, people just don't want to hear it. You get what I'm saying? I'm still sticking with a C with this draft. I know they haven't touched the field, but I'm still sticking with a C because those third-round picks got to show. You feel
I'd
me,
love to
Mike?
be wrong. I would love to. Feed me my tweets. Feed me my tweets.
Right. I'm great being wrong. You feel me? Like, throw pie in my face wrong. I'm cool with that. But just like you said, when you go with the track record of what you see, and then you see them, they did it again this year because they reached on some defensive players in that third round, and we're all like, why'd you get them guys? They weren't bad players, but you didn't have to jump out there in the third round to get them. You could have got other players and still could have got those guys. So I feel like they're out there trying to prove they're smarter than everybody else. And if you out there trying to prove you smarter than everybody else, them guys better come in. I don't care. Third rounders better not be sitting the bench, Mike.
Yeah.
Chauncey's got to be on that field.
And because they've already missed so many times, they were behind the 8 ball before this draft. They needed this draft to make the team somewhat tolerable. And it needs to hit. I want it to hit. And it's not like I'm praying for it to fail.
Right. That's the thing. We're not praying for it to fail. And what we talk about, Mike, and even when after I did a video after they drafted Parsons, and I said the second and third round is going to be your meat and potatoes of guys that are going to be the difference makers on your team for years to come. You feel me?
That's when you win the draft. Day 2 and day 3 is when you win the draft.
Day 2 or 3 is when you win the draft. And in that day 2, we all looked at those players like, all right, they're okay, but they got to. Are they on the field this year? Are they competing this year? Are they taking spots this year? Are they getting significant tick? That's just only my question because I don't know. When I see Osa, is he getting significant tick over Gallimore and Tristan Hill? Third rounder? I don't think so. From outside looking in, when I see Wright from the cornerback, third round, who are you pushing off? Are you taking over? You're a big corner. Are you playing slot? Where are you playing? You feel me? Like you 6'4", but where are you playing? You third round pick, but where are you playing? Because if you drafted Kelvin Joseph and you already got Diggs, Mike, those are your two guys, right? Jordan Lewis and Brown are your slot guys. This dude's 6'4". Where is he playing? Third round pick. Where are you playing? You get what I'm saying?
Safety, special teams.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just only my question. And then even with the Chauncey Golston, your defensive end, your third rounder, you got to be taking Dorrance Armstrong's spot, and you got to be competing for a Nye and Terrell Basham for them spots. Like you got to be getting significant tick this year.
Yeah.
Because of where you were drafted. If you were drafted later, wouldn't nobody be talking about it, Mike, right? We wouldn't care. But in the third round, you got to play. It's just the way you were drafted.
For any other team.
Yes, Joseph Chapman, third rounders do too have to play. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Third rounders do too have to play.
Third round needs to get some burn. Third
rounders need to play.
They don't need to have the impact that this team requires of them this year. They should need to have the impact, but they've missed so many times on defense that these third rounders need to have an impact this year, unfortunately. And that's buying horse tickets. I really don't care who you pick there.
And nobody's
Like,
crying about this draft. Like, see, that's what I'm saying, man. Y'all, I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm probably just getting likes on this mic, but I'm gonna just keep it real, Mike. Okay.
I'm gonna go eat some food, man.
I
I'm
feel you.
I'm nah, I'm not. I'm just trying to explain. People if
And,
people want to suckle the tit of this team, that they can do that, but they've given you absolutely zero reason to believe that they've made the right decision. And if you want to believe that just because I'm just a dude with a Twitter account talking shit about it, then by all means, you can ride with them, but they absolutely have given you zero reason to believe that. So
that's why I fuck with you, big dog.
all right. So my Chinese food got here 20 minutes ago, so I am anniversary. I'm gonna go hang out with Lady. Y'all have a good night. I hope y'all.
Hey.
I hope this. I really do hope this draft works. It's not that I'm rooting for failure. It's just
you're a realist.
this. Prove me
And
wrong.
that's why.
Prove me you can.
Wrong. Prove us wrong.
Yep. All right. Y'all have a good one, Bubba. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, dog.
Later, Bubba.
Yep. Yeah, man. Y'all be, and I'm about to bring Law in here. Law said send him the link. Hold on, I'm about to bring Law in here. He said send me the link. So see what my dog Law is saying. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, man, I'm gonna just keep it real. Some of y'all in here like, oh, y'all just being negative. I'm not being negative. I thought this was a C draft. I like Michael Parsons. He didn't. I felt like Asante Samuel. I still like him over Joseph, but Joseph could be the guy. I just look at those third round picks like they have to produce and play. You know what I'm saying? Because the other guys that you got after that, Jabril Cox, I think he's definitely going to get significant tick. The offensive linemen, I ain't really worried about them. And then you got the Israel kid that you drafted in the 6th round, and you're converting him to safety. So all I'm saying is this: those defensive guys that you drafted on the front line, Osa, you know what I'm saying? Your boy that got drafted from Kentucky, he's a 6th round pick, so you don't expect. But when you're a 3rd round pick, I'm sorry. If those guys were 6th round picks, and Chauncey and Osa, if those guys were 5th and 6th round picks, wouldn't nobody be tripping? Like, they'd be like, oh, that's great value. But they were picked in the 3rd round. They're not bad players, but they got to play. And are they going to play early? That's just the thing. It ain't nobody about hate nobody. You being negative and hating on the draft. It's just reality. It's where you were drafted, and people talking about 3rd rounders don't need to play early. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd rounders, yes, they do need to play. I don't know what you're talking about. 3rd rounders need to play. And you drafted 3 of them. And like I said, that corner that you drafted in right, he's long and edgy, but I mean, where's he really going to play this year? You feel me? He's got to beat out some people. But let me send this link to Law. Oh my dog, right? Let me see. Sorry, I'm tweeting him right now. Send this link to him. See what my dog Law is saying. So what y'all got to say about this? I'm gonna listen to what y'all got to say. I mean, your initial grades. I want to see what y'all got to say. What's y'all initial grades with this? I'm gonna see if Law want to jump in here right quick. What's y'all initial grades with this draft? Like I said, I'm gonna see with it. I'm gonna see with it. I obviously we have 2 to 3 years where you actually see what the draft is gonna do. That's with every draft. But there go my dog right here. Bam.
What's up, man?
What up, fam?
Shh. Your world, man. Shoot.
What's up? What's up?
Y'all
What's up with
speaking,
you?
y'all spitting the truth over there, but Here's my analogy, man. When people say
Uh-huh.
we're being negative, it's not that we're being negative, but we're being realist of the situation. When you get a house and you get it appraised, you might thought that your house was was worth $450,000, and then when the appraiser come and say, "Hey, dog, your house is worth $320,000," that's not the appraiser being negative. That's just him putting the facts out there. So when you was talking about the guys that's in the third round, of course we want them to play. But we still waiting to see what Bradley and I can do. We just went out and spent free agent capital to get Basham, right? We want to see what he can do. Carlos Watkins, we want to see what he can do. And when I was telling everybody that we don't need 11 picks out there on the field, it always sound good when you have 11. But the reality of it, big game, James, is that all 11 players, you don't want to see them out there on the field because there's going to be some growing pains. And a majority of it being defense, it's going to be the same thing like you said at the Waffle House, big game, that they're going to be looking on Dak Prescott and his offense to do everything. But go ahead.
I mean, and as I said before, I was never like I'm not mad at this draft. You feel
Right.
me, Law? I'm not sitting there saying this draft is just terrible and it sucks. Not doing that. What I'm
Right.
saying is those third rounders have to show and prove. They have to prove what you did. And people always want to think, oh, you being negative. That's not the negativity. It's the
Facts.
truth. Those guys have to play. If you drafted right, he has to play. And he was rated lower. So what tick is he getting? If you got Joseph playing, you already got Jordan Lewis and you got Anthony Brown. Where's he going to play as a third rounder?
You're right. How he gonna see the field? And I know you might want to look at it as it relates to like these guys gonna be on the special teams, but that's a rich resources for special teams where you pick them at, you know?
Right.
And I'm quite sure that this team, we gonna win a bunch of games, but we could have got more value. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying is too.
Quality over quantity.
You could have
Yeah.
got quality. Those guys you could have got later, and you could have probably got some other guys that could have did something. I think the Jabril Cox pick helps because I feel like he's a player that can really get significant tick on the field. And like I said, I like the Micah Parsons pick. I like Jabril Cox. The jury's still out on those third round guys. They're not bad players, but the jury's still out with me. I'm still kind of on the fence with Kelvin Joseph. I need to see more. I know other guys that watch them more than me, Law, know more. So, hey, that's what it is. But I need to see more from Kelvin Joseph.
Well, from a mentality aspect, everything that if somebody liked out of J.C. Horn, you getting that out of a Kelvin Joseph. He got good speed too, and he can redirect and he can play off ball. So we saw tape of him against Alabama. I think you got that tape, big game, James.
Yes, sir.
Just look that one up, and you'll see what he did against the guy that we kind of moved back from was in the first round with the Eagles. So Devontae Smith. So you would see him versus that particular guy. I think that if it wasn't for his off the field situations, he would have been drafted in the first round. Now, majority of the mock drafts that we did with him, he fell to the third and the fourth because of the fact of the off the field situation. Now, I don't know if people are going to classify the Dallas Cowboys of reaching for him because there's not a lot of teams, and I'm just being real, that would take the risk like what we did with Josh Ball. Would take the risk like what we did even with the Kelvin boss man, Joseph. So it's just one of those things where we're going to have to sit back and let this thing play out and watch. And it could be said, truth be told, even with the Parsons situation, that immaturity situation of the hazing and these sorts of things by the Cowboys going out there grabbing him with the 12th overall draft pick. There was a lot of people saying that we ain't going to touch that because of the off the field situation.
Well, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not even tripping off those two guys with the off field.
Facts.
More the Josh Ball. I would just say people are always going to hold that over his head, and we don't need that controversy.
Facts.
You feel me? It's not that people don't forgive, but just certain people just ain't gonna let that go. But when you got
Right.
those two guys, like I said, I like Micah Parsons, and I feel like he really loves being a Cowboy, and I feel like he's gonna turn up. I need to see Kelvin Joseph do the same thing. I think he has the potential to do it. Like I said, Those are two picks I feel like will be on the field instantly. Them third rounders, are they?
Right.
That's where I'm looking at. You feel me? Feel me, Law? That's not hating, but you drafted two guys where you feel like they should be on the field right now. Michael Parsons should be a difference maker right now. Kelvin Joseph should be opposite of Diggs. That should already be in the lineup. That's where you were drafted. Third round pick, yeah, you need to get significant tick. So Osa need to be in that rotation.
Right.
Chauncey need to be in that rotation. Wright need to be in that rotation. Y'all can't be sitting the bench or practice squad guys.
well, we already know, man. We seen this song and dance last season, and it is regardless of who was coaching the team. You still drafted Reggie Robinson, and we never got a chance to see him out there on the field. And the one play that we did get a chance to see him, he made a play. It was a fumble, on a special team situation. And now all of a sudden you go get these guys different change of philosophy. There's nothing wrong with that, but we need to see him on the field as well as with Bradley and I.
Well, let me ask you
how much
this.
the praises they did with Dorrance Armstrong. So with the political politics stuff of the Cowboys, finally move on from him and bring in these guys that we just drafted. But go ahead.
Did you like Dan Quinn's interview?
Oh my goodness, he was solid. I mean, it wasn't no stuttering. He came out and said, "Hey, look, I know you don't know me as that much, but I don't like to do players comp, and I like people that's just stern and staying straightforward with the media." And say, okay, this is the program that I'm establishing. Yes, I had other opportunities as well. If it was me from the outside looking in, I would look at it like that was his interview to also be the head coach of this team if Mike McCarthy can't get this offense going. Because Mike McCarthy.
That's Kellen Moore.
It's Kellen Moore.
You know it's Kellen Moore. Don't do that.
But did you like the interview with Quinn?
I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, go with it. Cause I know you the minister of defense over there, man. Talk to me about that. What you?
I loved it. So, I'm sorry, y'all.
What happened? Yo.
I'm trying to get this echo away. It's acting weird. So if there's any, I'm trying to figure it out. If I don't know. But I loved that interview. I loved everything. I liked it, Law, because he came assertive. He came strong. He came like when I was listening to Mike Nolan was like, yeah, I'm happy to be here, and we'll see how this. It was just like where are you sure of yourself? Or what's going on? When I saw Dan Quinn coming there, I like the assertiveness. I like when they asked him a question, he already knew answers. He already knew what to talk to you about. That shows me he was prepared. That shows me he's studying. That's showing me that he's taking this. And you know what else I didn't hear? I didn't hear the whole thing, but I didn't hear, I'm just grateful to be here. I'm just so happy to be here. No, I heard him like, this is the plan. This is what we're trying to do. You know what? This is what I want to implement, and this is what's going on. I saw more assertiveness. I saw more confidence. I saw more strength. And that's what I want to see with this defense. Mike Nolan, I didn't see any of that, and I feel like the players play to that. It doesn't matter just with the scheme, Law, and you and I both know that. We understand the scheme, but when your guy is more personable to you, when your guy is showing that love to you, when he's putting that extra work in with you, when he's sitting there talking to you, when he's making it family, when he's making that locker room tight, that goes a long way in how you're going to play. We should know that when we are at jobs, when your boss comes to you and says, you're doing a hell of a job, hey, you're killing it today, hey, you're doing it, it makes you work harder. It does. It gives you like, okay, somebody's actually appreciating what I do out here. So that's going to make me want to come in every single day and work harder. And I feel like that's what Dan Quinn is the difference between him and Mike Nolan. I feel like the players are going to want to work harder because when I hear it in that interview, I feel like he's going to have that same type of mentality carrying on in the locker room and on the practice field and on the playing field. And once again, I said, Law, that sometimes you're better when you can just focus on one thing. And now that Dan Quinn is there, he can just focus entirely on defense. He doesn't have to worry about anything else. And they're giving you the opportunity. And just like you said, I like challenges. People are coming in here trying to see if I can hit this ground running. So you know what? I want to prove to people that I can do this. So he's probably got a chip on his shoulder and showing that, you know what? It didn't work at Atlanta, but I got an opportunity. And I want to show people I'm a good defensive coordinator and I got the tools to do it. So let me show you. So I like that aspect of that interview, and I feel like the players will gravitate because it goes a long way when players like you.
Yeah. I mean, it goes a long way, and the way his mindset is, hey, this is an opportunity to showcase what I can do out there as it relates to being a coach. So I'm gonna sit back and watch this thing play all the way out. And I told everybody, it's not the fact that we drafted 11 guys, and it's not the fact that I'm gonna give out a grade A, B, or C. I'm not gonna do that. It takes 3 years to give an accurate grade of a draft anyway. Because when you look back at it, who's still on this team from 2017? You know,
Right.
So I mean, let's be real with it. It's just one of those things where at the moment, I know how people are. They get emotional, they get all in their feelings, and everything is good. Nobody want to complain about that, but just like I gave the analogy of when you get in your house appraised and it's not where it's supposed to be at, it's not that the appraiser is being negative. He's just pointing out these are the things that you need to have fixed in order for that grade to go up higher. So winning, everything, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. I think that Quinn came out, Big Game James, he said it'd still be a 3-4, but with a 4-down lineman concept, meaning that fourth guy, he's going to still have a 4 front, but the principles and the responsibility is going to have a flavor of a 3-4, which is now the norm of the NFL. So we'll see how the Jabril Cox mixed in conjunctions with Neal, Parsons, as well as LVE and Jalen will all work together. I'm only going to say this, Big Game James.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving Jalen and LVE a mulligan for last year just on the simple strength of what you just said with Mike Nolan. The in and out of Mike Nolan's mindset, not having an assertive thoughts and not having that footprint of saying, okay, this is what I want you to do, damn it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the fact that in that interview, I believe it was the exit interview of the draft with Mike McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
He did mention about your boy, your big boy. I know you want the big boys back. You know,
Right.
that Bonner kid?
Yeah.
He said every team need an anchor. That's what they're calling cry. Let's get this big boy inside. He's not going to be an every down guy, but at least I will give them a kudos and a clap for that. At least they thought to get young and get somebody that's big and that they can put inside.
And you know what? Just like I was saying, Law, that if you look at the team, especially with Dan Quinn, whatever he's been associated with, whether defensive coordinator or whether he's just been a defensive line coach, there's always 2 defensive tackles drafted in that draft. There's always a real big boy, and then there's a guy that can be versatile, that rushes the passer, that can get penetration, that can do pressure. And that's when you look at, that's what he drafted this year. He got a plug guy that can play a 2-down guy that can keep your linebackers free. And then he got Osa, who's a guy that's a high penetration guy that can get in that backfield, because that's what you want, because he is undersized. He's 6'1", and he's 280 pounds. He's undersized. So that's what he's looking at to do. So we'll see. Like I said, I appreciate them going hard in the draft on defense, Law. So I'm not mad at that. You feel me? 11 picks. You got 8 of them were defense. So I'm not mad at that. I'm excited that y'all did that. But the thing is, the guys got to be on there. You're talking about here's what we're talking about, Law. They don't go out there and sign they don't go out there and sign free agents. They get low cost free agents, right? And Stephen Jones said, I'm not overpaying. He said it time and time again. I'm not overpaying. We're going to get low-cost free agents. We're going to sign our own and build through the draft. So what I'm saying is, if you're saying you're building through the draft, these guys that you drafted in those first 4 rounds have to have some tick, because these are your guys that are going to be your future. These are your guys, because D-Law ain't going to be there but so much longer. So my thing is, we're hoping you're right. It's not negative. We're hoping it's right. But if it's not right, is that not going to knock our team back further because we're relying so much on the draft? Can you agree with that, Law?
1,000,000%. Because you got to look at it like this, too. If you're saying that you are building through the draft, this is your cement that you pouring down into the ground, and you're hoping that everything else is standing on that, what you saying that you are building. Well, why in the hell you ain't getting nothing out of returns of the stuff that you're building, right? You're supposed to get something in return. We didn't get nothing but compensatory picks out of Byron Jones, right? We didn't get nothing from the other guys. I can go on and on and on about the list of people that we didn't get nothing in return as it relates to the people that we draft. Jalen Smith, LVE. Those are the two calling cries for a lot of people saying that we should get rid of them. Well, what the hell are we going to get in return? So if we are building, if that's our foundation, right? If I take $500 and I put it in a stock or a return somewhere, and I'm trying to get something out of return, if I'm saying that that's my investment, well, baby, I'm supposed to get at least north of 500 for what I put in. Not the equivalent of what the same I put in or less. That means that's a failed investment. That's making money. Now we're talking money to people, right? So if you saying that this is what you're building your team after of is the draft, and you don't get nothing in return, then that's a horrible way of investing, and that's a horrible way of building your team if you're not getting nothing in return. You know?
I feel you.
But this is the thing. Now people are saying LVE, Jalen Smith, all of those boys, they should be gone. So what's going to be the next people that they're going to be wishing and crying for and begging for to be gone 3 to 4 years from here?
Well, like I said, Law, I don't hate on the draft. I don't hate this draft at all. But you just these guys got to play. Like that's all my thing. These guys have to play. Like no hate, but these guys can't be sitting on the bench. These guys can't be practice squad. These guys can't be deactivated. These guys can't. Oh, they're not on the 55-man roster today because of something else. No, if that is happening most of the year, then I mean I know it takes 2 to 3 years. I know, I get it, but still. When you have a first rounder, you're not looking at him, oh, let's see what he does next year. No, you're like, hey, he needs to play this year, and I need to see what the hell he's doing this year. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And that's just my opinion. I ain't saying this everybody's opinion. This is my opinion. Right. Third rounders need to play. I don't give a hell. Third rounders need to be on that field and playing because those are meat and potatoes of your team. We've seen tons of second and third rounders get significant tick on the field Law first year and doing the damn thing. So I don't want to hear that they don't got to play and they can just sit the bench and learn. No, they need to be getting on that field because guess what? Dallas don't got no dominant players where they cannot get on the field.
Oh my goodness, yo. Shoot. You preaching over there, man.
I mean, ain't nobody scheming for nobody else on the team, and I've said this before, besides DeMarcus Lawrence. So there ain't no reason why they can't get on the field.
Facts. So, I mean, we could look at it like this. Okay, front four, Randy Gregory. He's going to be out there. All right, on the opposite edge, you have D-Law. He's there. Will Navel Gallimore beat our heel, or will it be one of the guys that will it be double O? Who do you think? Osai, I think that's his name, or will it be Navel Gallimore over Hill?
It's got to be. I mean, here's the thing. That's what we're talking about. Just like right there, Law. We don't know. We still hoping. You feel what I'm saying? See, that's the problem. Like people getting frustrated and talking all that whatever, but we still don't know about Gallimore and Hill, dog. Like we're hoping. You feel me? Like we're hoping. We haven't seen these guys for 3 or 4. We haven't seen these guys. We're hoping Gallimore takes that next step. We're hoping Hill. We're hoping, but if they don't, we're in trouble.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
So I'm gonna say I want Gallimore to play, but I need to see Hill play because this is year 3, dog. He's got to be he's got to be on there being some kind of difference maker. And then when we talk about the one tech, you resigned Woods. You got Brent Urban in, but. And then who's your other one tech you got?
Justin Hamilton, and then you
Justin
got
Hamilton, the Bohemian.
What was his name? Big boy.
Is it Bonham from? I don't know his last name. I'm sorry. Bonham, big boy.
Big boy, big boy.
He said ain't nobody gonna be running. I like his attitude. He said ain't nobody gonna be running on in the lane no more. I like the attitude. But
Carlos Watkins.
I mean, Carlos Watkins, he's more of a 3.
More of a 3.
He's undersized too. He's undersized.
When Clemson, what he played? He played the 1, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's when he was in college.
There's many a moons ago, right?
He's undersized to play at the full-time position. He's more the 3. He can slide in there at the 1, and that's what they're probably thinking because they don't have to spend a lot of money on him or Urban. You feel me? Yeah. Low-cost guys that you can, pick and plug in there. But like I said, those are guys that are not your future, Law.
Is it Bohanna? Okay, appreciate
Bohanna.
Bohanna.
So here's what I'm saying, Law. Brent Urban is probably not your future, right? Carlos
Right,
Watkins
right,
probably
right, right.
not your future. These guys aren't your future. So all I'm saying is those guys that you drafted, I just feel like they got to get in there now. They can't, you know, I'm not saying starter day one, but they just got to be in that rotation significantly. It can't be them guys being not activated. Those guys have to be in the rotation because these are your guys of your future. So the future got to be now. Are we going to be
Got to
having
be.
to wait? Let's keep it real. We're going to wait 2-3 years. If we wait 2 or 3 years, are they getting to the playoffs then?
Well,
Because we're waiting?
yeah, the window on the offensive side, they didn't got that
Those guys
solidified,
don't
right?
have it right. Them contracts are going to be coming up. Law, you got to
Right,
win
right.
now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, Law. These contracts, people think that these contracts are 5 or 6 years going to be forever. No. After a couple of years, these guys want to renegotiate. After 3 or 4 years, they want to, especially if they're outplaying their contracts, they want to renegotiate. You have a small ass window with your depth guys or with your guys that are future. You got a small ass window. That's just me. I don't know, dog. And it's not complaining. It's just you have a window with these contracts, the ages of these players, the just the cap. We know Stephen Jones be on it. You only going to have these guys for so long, so you have to play and make a difference now. Not let's see after 3 damn years what we're looking at. 3 damn years. Have we made the playoffs?
Nah, and Stephen Jones, he gave his hand away when he said that I believe it was after the first presser that he wanted all of these guys to make the team, and he want the draft picks opposed to the guys that's already here because of the money aspect of it. That you want to be able to make sure you secure the finances because when contracts are due, it's good to have those guys that's young and you can make more movements around on this team. My thing is where? That's the only thing. Where? Because when we go back to the historic data, when we look at all of the teams that made it to the Super Bowl, they did something in free agency to go grab those guys. Now,
Get them over the hump.
get them over the hump. Now, the Cowboys, we did made a few moves, but it wasn't in the first earlier rounds of the free agency. We went out there and we went, like you said, bargain based shopping, and then we put everybody on a 1 to maybe a possible 2-year contract, meaning that, okay, they got to get it done this year, then we'll start the cycle all over again next year. I don't know, Big Game James. It's just going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to sit back and
I
wait.
feel like it's going to
Yeah.
be relying on the offense again this
Offense.
year. I feel like it's going to go back to be relying on the offense again this year.
Right.
And guess what? If they come out and do something totally different, I'm cool with being totally wrong. Just like I was talking, me and Mike were talking about, I'm cool with being totally wrong. I'm not trying to jump on here to be right. I want to be wrong. Like you said, we're going by the track record. If you're going by the track record, what gives you confidence that is different? People that are getting in their feelings like, oh, you hating and this and that. No, it's reality. There's all these years of these same things have happened and there hasn't been anything different. So I'm not hating on this draft, but what I'm saying is it has to happen and we can't just keep on thinking, oh, well, 2022, let's look at a 3-year plan. We've been talking about the 3-year plan. We've been talking about a 5-year plan. We've been talking about a 7-year plan. These other teams get really good drafts, but they go out there and get a few free agents that they're like dogs that can really take them over the top. And it happens. We see it time and time again in the league. We see teams that they'll get a couple free agents. They got a good blend, but them free agents will come in and make the difference. We've seen it just last year with Tampa Bay. We've seen it with tons of teams. It happens every year. And I'm not sitting there saying that you got to go overspend or nothing like that. But when you get role players that the Cowboys have, they got role players, Law. They didn't get difference makers. They got role players. So the guys that you drafted have to come in and be dogs.
Right.
Because you got role players for 1 to 2 year deals. That means you're saying that y'all ain't gonna be with us a long time.
Right. And they know it. It's written all over the wall. And Big Gabe James, we've been doing this long enough to remember when Taco Charlton was drafted, and we gave everybody our thoughts and everything. And people were giving us, don't be negative. Don't be negative. Taco, he's going to be the next greatest thing since sliced bread. And I'm still waiting on them to apologize to us, right? And even with the LVE, I apologize. I said on this platform, Big Game James, and we sat out here and we gave a whole apology to it. Hey, man, we was wrong. We was wrong. We was wrong. But where are they at now? You know, to say, hey, law man, dog, man, you was right about LVE, dog. You know, so it's just feast of famines with the collective fan base, and I understand, right? So we'll find out. Even with the Tristan Hill, although the jury's still out on him, I was sitting there like, man, go grab Juan Thornhill, man. Please just go ahead and no. They went and grab a Tristan Hill, and we were sitting there like, where are they at now? Because people were saying, hey, man, you were wrong, man. Tristan Hill, he can shoot up field. He can get you 6 or 7 sacks. He's going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Where are they at now?
I mean, we're still hoping. Like, we're hoping Tristan Hill does. You feel me? Like, even with Gallimore, we like what we saw last year, but there's no guarantee. It's only his second year, and we're hoping because he doesn't have. You know what I mean? We're hoping because if he doesn't, Dallas is in trouble, and that's all we're saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not speaking for anybody else, and it's not being negative. I want this team to do well. I want this defense to be great. I want this defense to dominate. But when I see certain picks and then I look across the board with other teams, I'm like, man, damn, we could have got them players and could have got those other guys later. So, okay, we got these guys. Man, they got to come in and show it. And if they do show it, bruh, I'm cool with that. Come back on the show and say, see, look at Osa. He killing the big game. You said he wasn't going to do shit. I ain't say that. But what I did say was, hey, I got it. And the first thing I'm going to say is, you right. I love it.
Right.
You feel me, Law? I'm not gonna be like, no, he got lucky. He got lucky, Law. He got lucky. No, he just getting lucky getting lined up.
Let me tell you the people that I like out of this draft, man, because I don't want people to miss the boat, you know, and only listening because we do know you can take 100,000 and you times it by -1, it's going to be a negative. Or if you times it by 0, it's just 0. So my thing is, let me give everybody and put it on record, Big Game James, the best person out of this draft to me, and we're going to say this to me, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like Boss Man Fat. I love all he brings to the table. He's the best person out of this draft.
And you like him? He's your best draft pick?
He's my best draft pick. Second to that list, I actually like Parsons.
But I like Parsons too.
But I got to put a big reservations on Parsons. Mm-hmm. He's raw, and there's not a lot of tape. When I started looking up, burning through tape, I couldn't find a lot of tape. Is that Parsons' fault? No, that's my fault. So, but for my quick analysis, I'm just going to put that on the shelf as a reservation. I got right to say that, right? Until I see him putting on the pads and he out there in training camp, and I see you out there in Oxnard, we'll be going over everything if they allow us to be there. Right. And then that way we'll be able to give you our opinions of him, right? Mm-hmm. Not from somebody else, not from the media and the Four Ladder Network. Then we'll be able to see with our own eyes and say, okay, this is what Parsons, this is what we saw, just like we saw out of the other guys when we was at training camp the last time we was there. The time when you was there, we said, look, Michael Gallup, watch, he going to have an explosive year, because we were able to see that, not the other stuff that people were kind of dangling over our heads. So in my third person that I really like out of this, is I like Cox. And then in my fourth person is the Israel kid. I like what he can do. Those are the 4 players that I really like out of this draft. Double O, he's an under tackle. I don't know what he's going to bring to the table. Yeah, he can wrestle and everything, but at 279 pounds, I got to see that. You know, I got to actually see that go through the rigmarole. The other guy, Chauncey Golston, to me, if I could keep it 100, I would rather see Bradley Anai out there opposed to seeing Chauncey Golston out there. That's just me. That's just me. I agree. And I could be 1,000,000% wrong, but I'd rather see Bradley Anai out there opposed to him. Who else did? I like the TJ guy that went undrafted, Vasher.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6'6" can give God a handshake and say, what's up, you know, and also catch the ball, high point the ball. So I like that. You know, you make the opposition sweat when you see a 6'6" kid. Oh, and I forgot the 5th person on that list is the other kid from Stanford. I really like his skill set. He said he can take the top off he can take the top off the defense. So I can't wait to see him, but it's still wait and see because they're talking about his route running and these sorts of things. So we'll find out.
Well, since you brought that up, I'm gonna bounce off you, Loft. I'm gonna go about my favorite picks.
Right.
My favorite picks through this draft, and I'm gonna keep it real. I just wasn't excited about the draft. I wasn't mad at it though. That's why I need the people to understand. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
excited, but I'm not mad at it. But my number one pick would be Micah Parsons because I feel like he has a lot of potential. He has a lot of man. I think his trajectory is high.
I
You feel
ain't
me?
got no roof, you know.
I feel like
There's no roof to it.
I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like he's got a real high
yeah.
trajectory. He has the size. I think he has the skills. I feel like, and I keep going back to this. He loves being a cowboy. Like his family are deep Cowboys fans. They real Cowboys fans.
Right,
And
right, right,
all
right.
he been talking about it since last year. Like it's his dream come true. Like some people when they get that star on their helmet, it means everything to them. And I think with the ability that he has and his rawness, I feel like you just if you send him on blitz, you send him, make him animalistic. I feel like he has the animalistic behavior. Let
I
him be
got you. Let me see if you can
animalistic.
hit it. Let me see if you hit it.
Yes, all that. Yes, yes, all that. I think he's got the animalistic behavior, so I like that, and I want to
Mm-hmm.
see all that, and use him in a position to where he's animalistic. Blitz him,
Mm-hmm.
send him off the edge, send him up the middle, move him all around, make him a guy that's don't. If you got him at the 12th pick, you got to make him like that. Make him like the Lawrence Taylor, and just move him all around, and like, okay, we got to watch Parsons this game. You feel me? So that's what I like about him. My second pick is going to be Jabril Cox.
Okay,
I
okay.
like Jabril Cox because I'm now I don't like his physical side. I think he needs to get. I don't know if he can ever do it, but the range, the size, I think the way he can attack receivers, corner running backs, tight ends. He can flex and do everything like that. I like that. I like the
Mm-hmm.
versatility that he brings to the table, and I like that he can put other linebackers on notice. I want them to put pressure on those other guys to make them better players. Make LVE better. Make him stay on the field. He worried about getting injured because guess what? If I get injured, Cox gonna take my spot. That's what I want. I want Jalen Smith to be looking like, damn, if I ain't handling my business, Michael Parsons taking all these snaps. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want these guys to put the pressure on. My third pick that I'm going to look at, I'm going to go with the Semi kid.
Semi.
My
Okay.
jury's still out with Osa. Now, he's going to be my fourth guy, but I like the Semi kid. He's going to be my third guy because of, I like the size. I love the speed. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe, guess what? I just something about him when I was just watching him and just looking at him in the background and watching his family. Just something about him, dog. I don't know what
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
he
It's
cool.
just something. It's just something about him that I feel like he's really gonna, really embrace this and might be a real sleeper for the Cowboys at the receiver position. And then my fourth guy that I like, I'm going to go with the Osa kid for the fact that I saw him in the Senior Bowl and he was
Okay.
getting the penetration. I never really got to watch him on tape, but what I did notice when I watched the Senior Bowl, I was like, who is that dude? Because I thought it was Levi because their names. I looked at the Ozarike and I seen the last name and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, is that Levi? But it was Osa. He was consistently penetrating that Senior Bowl. He was consistently penetrating that offensive line. Even though he's undersized, he does get pressure. And at the end of the day, if you're undersized, you want to get pressure. You can't be a guy that's 280 pounds and you're undersized and you're not getting pressure. You got to be able to do something. So he may not be stout in the run game, but he will put pressure on the players, and that's what I like about him. And my last guy is going to be the Quentin Bohanna guy.
Ohana.
I need to see what Israel's going to do because they're talking about moving him to safety, so the jury
Safety.
be out with that. But 6'4", 340, 350 pounds. Yes, he ain't going to be a three down guy, but he's a guy that can finally, hopefully, keep our linebackers clean. He's a
Mm-hmm.
run stuffer, command a double team. We're going to watch some more tape of him, but that's what we've been waiting for. A real fat boy who's young and Law. He loves being with the Cowboys. He's already on his Instagram talking big shit. Oh, he's already out there on Twitter talking big noise, big talk. And he's loving how much and he's a big country boy. That's
Mm.
his family country. He country. Them country boys go a long way. So, hey, I'm excited about those guys. And hey, I want this to succeed because if those guys succeed, it makes it easier for Dak Prescott in the offense, dog.
Yeah, man. And I want people to understand this, man. It's only May the 2nd. So don't be watching this video in June, you know what I'm saying? In July and September saying, look, I'm holding y'all to this and look, give it time, you know? Give it time for us to look and comb through everything. Give it time for us to see these guys out there busting sweat, and give it time for them to get their first paycheck too. You know, people act different when they get their first paycheck. Big game,
Yes, sir.
they be up here like this, talking all that stuff. Then when the NFL money come in, hey, they make yeah, no, man. You know,
Yeah, all day, all day.
you know
So
how it is different when you get that first paycheck.
now, have you got the chance before we get up off of here, Law? Have you got a chance to look at the? I remember you mentioned T.J. Vasher. Did you get to look at any of the other undrafted free agents?
No, not at the moment, man. Because only reason I look at TJ because so many people hit me up, man. Like, hey, Law, you gotta check out this dude,
Yeah,
man.
he
6'6".
nice. He's slim, but he's
Yeah.
slim, but he nice, dog.
All right,
Like
go say it. Go say it one time for me.
he's slim fit. You know what I'm saying? He's slim fit. You know what I'm saying? But he nice though, for real. So
Yeah,
that was a big coup to kind of keep the kind of get that. But there's also a cat that you want to look at that I'm gonna mention. My homeboy who trained him and been training him since he was in the 6th grade. He's been
Wow.
coaching him since he was in the 6th grade. Linebacker Anthony Hines from Texas A&M. He was a who's who guy. He was like one of the most top rated kids coming out of high school, but he just didn't have the career at Texas A&M that he wanted. So he's got a big boulder on his shoulder. I talked to like I said, his trainer yesterday. He's got size, he's got measurables, and like I said, he could be a sneaky guy. You know, Dallas loves getting those undrafted players, Law, more than anything else, and just keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him because he has those size and measurables that could help the Cowboys down the line. So just keep an eye on him.
Anthony is Texas A&M, right?
Yep, Anthony Hines, linebacker Anthony Hines.
The
And when he
third.
came,
I see. I'm pulling up his information now. The third.
yeah, when he came out of school, he was like one of the big dogs out of there, and it just his kind of career didn't just do what he wanted. But you know what? There's second chances, and maybe he can come in and hopefully show improve. Because as you see, Dan Quinn likes having linebackers, and you can see the 3-4 principle and all those things. But we saw a lot of linebackers that the Cowboys got. And so that's what's interesting to me. And you got the one big boy that you can slide in the middle when you're doing your 3-4 principles.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be 3-4 principles, but with 4 down linemen. So we gonna see how all of that works out, man. I can't wait to see it, man. At least, like you said, at least we have a different mentality. This team is still going to be heavy on the offensive side because Dak Prescott is the leader and Ezekiel Elliott is the second in command. And you have all of those boys on the outside like Amari Cooper that got paid and CeeDee Lamb, who's going to be that young guy. You seen the new picture of him? Boy, bulked up a little bit.
Yeah, he's still gonna be slim fit though.
Yeah,
but
he's still slim fit.
But he gonna be always skinny strong. That's a guy. CD is a skinny strong guy. You feel me? Like he ain't really gonna be a big dude, but he's gonna be stronger than he looks. So don't ever underestimate him because you saw he could take them his jump right back up and was like, "What's good, dog?" He may have felt him, but he ain't a dude that ever scared from no contact. That's what I love about CD. He ain't never a dude that's scared of no work, and he will challenge you. You see when he get up and do that little snake move, he like, "Yeah, dog, you can't touch me." I love CD Lamb, and I can't wait to watch him this year.
Yeah. Hey, Ed, I know you probably finna wrap this thing up, but I want people to know that regardless of the domestic violence situation with Josh Ball, that might be a steal for us, man. That mentality, the aggressive tone.
He's got he's a player. Like he only dropped because of that, because he was highly rated. And I get it. I get why people are mad, frustrated, hate the pick. I get it.
Right.
But I can also say this, that we've all made mistakes. We've all done wrong. And sometimes when you point the finger at, oh, look what he did, you probably did some crazy stuff in your life too we just don't know about, because everybody got bones in their closet. Yeah. Let's keep it all the way real, Law. Just because you don't nobody know about your bones, everybody got bones in the closet of what they done. You feel me? And if somebody put your bones on blast, you wouldn't want them to judge you because of it. So I'm not letting him off the hook, and I'm not saying what he did is right. What I'm saying is that let's not always hold that over his head, because if he has truly changed and done better, then we can't always look at his past. So hopefully he
Facts.
has moved past that. Hopefully hopefully they did a really good background check on him, and it wasn't just because of the talent. And hopefully he continues to grow and become a better man, because we've all done wrong, man. Sin is a sin, dog. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah, and that happened way in 2016. I hate for y'all to go all the way back and see what I did in 2000,
Nah, you don't want to go back to see what I did. Y'all be,
99.
bruh, y'all be like, wow, okay, for real. I'm done supporting you. I mean, I was wild, but you feel me? But every day you got to grow and get better. And, and you can't point the finger and throw stones at one person when you know you could be doing something too. So, just like I said, let's just hope that, he's moved past that and he's grown, and he stays out of trouble. And if he does stay out of trouble, that's a great thing for the Cowboys, not just as a person, but as a player on the field. And that's what at the end of the day, you want. You want these guys to all succeed. You don't want to never want failure from any of these guys. So let's just hope that he has his head on the shoulders now, and can continue to strive to be good and be great.
Cram.
Cram.
Let's go.
But yeah, dog, I appreciate you. I'm about to jump off here. I got to finish cutting my lawn, dog. I let it get too high. I got to help the girls with their projects. I let this grass get too high, dog. Like, for real. Like, I didn't try to, but that grass got. You feel me, Law? Like, for real, grass is a funny thing. Like, you be seeing it one week and grass be chilling and low, and then you turn around next week and that grass be high as hell, and be like, well, hold up, dog. Where that grass come that high from? And it's just a hassle. So, let her. Law, everything good over there too with your stuff now? Everything great.
Gravy,
Okay.
man.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
on
it.
multiple
Okay.
platforms, man.
Okay.
Y'all check me out, man, at LAW Nation on Facebook, Twitter, on both YouTube pages. Had to go through the gauntlet to get it back going and everything. But I really appreciate everybody. Just let it be known that we only looking from the outside looking in. And this team is a long way to go. The off season is long. There will be some other veteran draft picks, veteran guys that's on the street that will be picked up, I believe, this off season. So just be aware of that. This is how it goes. Let's go.
Yeah, let's just see how it plays out. We'll be in training camp, so we'll be able to see these guys up close and up front. We'll be out there. I hope you're going to be out there a week, because I'm going to be out there for at least a week, Law. So hopefully we both can be out there and match up the times, and then we can be able to see it up close and personal, be able to see these young guys, be able to see the guys that they brought in, and be able to, we're going to definitely be reporting on it every day to you guys, and give you that up close and good stuff, not the commercial shit. We're going to be right there in your face, and we're going to give you that good stuff so you can actually see these players yourself, and then kind of let you be the judge as well. So I'm excited about that. I can't wait till training camp starts. I believe it's going to be back in California, because they're going to be open 100% in June. So, let's just go get it, getting excited, and let's see what, these Cowboys can do, because, my final thoughts on the NFL and the NFC in general is that it's for the taking. This division should be Dallas Cowboys, not just being biased or anything like that. I know Washington, they're going to be better. I know what they did last year, but I'm sorry, Fitzpatrick, yeah, he can win some games, but I'm sorry, the best quarterback in the NFC East is Dak Prescott, and it's not me being biased. That's just the truth. And just that on alone should win the division. If these other guys step up on this defense that you got, Dallas should be able to make some noise, at least in the playoffs, because when we look at the other teams, I know Tampa Bay and things of that nature, we play them this year, but we cannot sit there and say, Law, Dallas is, we're going to just get our ass kicked when we play these teams. I just don't believe that.
It's going to be a fight, and we're going to come out victorious, man.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Yeah, give back. Boy, that dog, boy. Big game, you better get the dog, man.
Who let the dogs out? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hey, we keep on checking us out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be doing our thing. Law gonna be dropping videos. I'm gonna be dropping videos. Make sure you check out the players, everything we got going on, and make sure you continue to support us like no other. Big Game James, Law Nation. Without y'all support, we can't continue to grow. So we're gonna need all your support in doing those things for us. So keep on supporting, liking, subscribing, memberships, all that good stuff, so we can continue to bring y'all the best coverage that we can for for Dallas Cowboys and beyond. So with that being said, my dog Law Nation, I appreciate you jumping in. When I sent the link, I appreciate you texting me saying send me the link. And, we're going to do the damn thing. Big Game James, Law Nation, support us like no other. We'll be talking to you soon. Peace. And we out. I think I'm going to play that music too.
That's what I'm talking about, man. You ended it, dog. It's over with.
I'm about to end it now.